Hello and welcome to Alternative Radio Cardiff. Today we're here with Tomos Lewis, a musician that's been around Cardiff for quite a while, and I'm going to hand you over to Nick Pendry and Lito Lascarudo.
Well, hello everybody. This is the first interview that me and Lito are doing together, isn't it?
Hello, yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
I'm excited. Right, so here with us today we got Tomos Lewis. Hello.
Hello, I'm excited to be here for your first interview as well. This is good.
Yeah, the new team. So what's been going on, Thomas?
Well, it's lockdown, isn't it? So
still.
Everything's been going on. I don't know, really. Just lots of bits and bobs with Big Bear Social Club and carrying on the good work. We did COVID Lockdown Live last summer and just kicking on, really. Writing some music, been recording some interviews with Sean Russell Jones.
You been writing a lot?
Yeah. I stopped writing for about 2 years.
Any particular reason?
I couldn't write anymore. It got to the point where
I got to that point. I was just using the same patterns, the same chords, and I was just doing my own editing. So I just left it.
Yeah, I wanted to change the sound that I was making, basically. So when Tendons broke up about 3 years ago, well, not broke up, we just we're on a break, Chandler.
Ross and Rachel.
So and I kept on writing more and more songs for that project. The sound,
which is a completely different sound, yeah.
But I was at this point, I was just like, the live reaction from those gigs where people would hug each other and cry because it was like, it's like
just an emotional ball ride.
Yeah, emotive, heartfelt shit.
That's what you want.
Yeah. So, and if you want that, that's great.
Yeah.
But
I want to go.
Yeah, I'd seen that crowd though 100 times, and I was just like, I can't make anyone else cry anymore. I want to make them dance and have a little groove on, and so it took a little while, but I've hit sort of about a year ago and 6 months ago, and it's just 3 months, and it just keeps getting better and better and better now. So new track soon, hopefully. Looking forward to it. And a Welsh track as well. We're recording that as well.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your background. You know, you're a passionate Welsh-speaking lad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where from?
Well, I'm born
in
Aberystwyth. Yeah, blwyddyn byw. I mynd I toilet ysgwelwch yn dda. I was born in Aberystwyth. Got brought up in a tiny little place called close to Abergynolwyn and Bryn Creek.
So that's how you know Gwion then, yeah?
Yeah, no, I met Gwion in Cardiff.
Even though you're from
about
from
4
Aberystwyth.
years ago. Yeah, standard. It's like all the Gogs and Midwalians meet each other down here. So I moved down here when I was 23. And that was purely to come down here and do
How old
music.
You know?
I am 36.
Quick maths, everyone, quick maths, Lito.
Do you know what? I thought I was 38 all year, and then I just realised a couple of days ago that I wasn't when I was
That's a massive bonus.
I was filling out the census, and I was like, shit, I'm not that age now. That's great. Yeah.
You're right there.
You just time travelled.
Yeah, I realised I was white British, and I followed, Star Wars or whatever. I don't know.
Good.
So tell us about the songwriting. You know.
Yeah. So
what do you play?
So I play guitar, acoustic guitar mainly. I did dabble in electric guitar and stuff for like shows and stuff when we were touring out in the Alps. But
it's so much better on acoustic.
Yeah, I asked this question last night to Angel Hotel, and they were just like, electric. And I was,
they love the electric guitars. Yeah,
I was quite surprised, but they're both amazing acoustic players.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to hear, but maybe that's part of being a good...
I've got a lovely Fender Jaguar I love playing. I look forward to playing it.
Have you really?
But I would put it into an acoustic every day.
Yeah,
I would, yeah.
I do love the look of a Fender Jag, though.
It is a sexy guitar.
Yeah, they look wicked.
Yeah, for the listeners, and he was bending over to pick something up. He wasn't doing anything else. Right, so tell us about a song. You know, have you got a track for us that we got to play first?
I think we got 3 tracks, have we? So
yeah, we've got 3 tracks.
Go
so
from the top, I suppose. I tell you what. Let's go for there's a remix that hardly ever gets the light of day of a single I released when I was doing the solo stuff called Eleanor.
Okay.
And that was remixed by Undersound. So let's see that. That was by Gareth Evans, he's called. In his normal life, no one goes Mr. Undersound. So, the remix of that would be great.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, we're going to play that one now.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, ARC FM.
Laughing out is all it seems that you can do when you're clambering round in your old man's shoes. I'm a believer, but I can't believe her. I'm a believer, but I don't believe her. Take your time to work it out for yourself. Hold your hands up, boy, it never goes well. I want to believe her, but I can't believe her. I want to believe her, but I can't believe her.
Now that was Eleanor. Now Tom, I know, and obviously everyone knows that because of lockdown, everyone's lost a lot of work. But the other day, down Cardiff Centre, that was a show.
So busking happened I mean, first of all, delivery driver happened because music stopped. So I was in music for the last 10 years or whatever. And then, that happened. So I delivery driver, had enough of delivery driving. I'm still doing it. But went out at Christmas for everyone, mate. I don't know if we're allowed to put the sponsors in there. Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Amazon, everybody that drives a van. So I did the busking over Christmas, and there's a busker in town people might have seen called Martin Jones.
Yeah. We saw him yesterday down the bay. He was absolutely brilliant.
Who's that?
Martin Jones. So he's released an album, actually. Blonde hair.
Yeah, but that's a really good voice. Fair play to him. Yeah, he's often outside TK Maxx bit, but
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we saw you last time.
Yeah, we're fighting for that spot now. No, so Martin helped me out, to be fair. I was like, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure. And I said, I'll tell you what, Matt. I said, if you go out and do a busking slot, because he's moved in where I am now. I said, when you're having a break, me money. This is nice.
Yeah, might as well just carry on doing it now.
So then I was like, okay, I've already got all the gear I needed. So then I bought a lithium battery, one of these big things for camping, and now I run my whole PA system off it. So
those are the ones that you use for festivals?
Yeah.
The bit massive one?
Yeah, well, the smaller version of that. Yeah, exactly
right.
That. She put them in the back of like fire engines and run stages on them because they're the size of the fire engine with a lithium battery because it's designed...
No, but would you say that, like, you did it for the money, but then you soon realise that actually you just love doing it anyway, and you just like get a different reaction from people in the street?
Really enjoyed it, yeah, surprisingly so. Having gigged in bars and gigged on stage and stuff and whatever, France, that was really fun.
I've never done that.
Have you never done that? We did a tour out there. It was me, Harry Davis, Scott Hillen from Blue Honey, and there was a drummer. I can't remember his name. I just don't want to mention him.
Okay, bad blood.
It's a bad man. And then, so we've been out there and done that, because that's intense. That's drinks flying everywhere and whatever. But busking is the opposite end of that. It's like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And basically, you can take your time over things, and you never get clapped at every 3 to 4 minutes, which is, it's such a tough life, isn't it? Like, normally. But that's been pretty...
Different crowd as well, because we've got people walking past who don't have the same crowd that you would have at an actual...
You can recycle song.
Yeah, there's no clapping every 3-4 minutes. It's not like intensely difficult to have to like hit points and make sure it goes up and up and up throughout the evening, so then it hits a clap.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just kind of going... I need to be consistently pretty good here. And so it's not as easy as people think. Like, I mean, there's good buskers and there's bad buskers, and sometimes the best buskers might not necessarily get the most money. But what it tends, I realised I could make a living out of it. So I think come the shop's opening now, I'll be back out there. I'm converting my van at the moment. So I'm going to catch up with everybody that you've missed for the last year and a half, isn't it? Or year.
Yeah. Oh, that's living the dream. Yeah, so tell us more about the projects you've done.
It's Tomos Lewis solo. Had to be called Tomos Lewis because there was a Tom Lewis from Canada that does sea shanties.
All right. Yeah.
And they're so hot right now.
That's great. He's fantastic though. He's so hot that does sea shanties. It was then him. Then so Tomos Lewis took a little bit of a break. Then we got together with Tendons, and I sort of...
Tendons, yeah, tell us a bit about Tendons.
So the project was meant to be just a different style of music, a slightly more emotive thing, but I wanted to have big layers involved. So I wanted the band to have instruments, but every single person had a voice as well. So
it's like a big, like a Bon Iver.
Similar, yeah. Really nice layers and harmonies, and that Bon Iver is a huge, huge inspiration. Like, I absolutely love the guy. Yeah, Zach Vernon's great, and that sort of ilk. But then it ended out stupid size, and even Bon Iver is just
We get into self-indulgent.
Do we need a trumpet? And so I was like, my friend Fran plays trumpet. And I want to bring her to this festival with me, so I'm like...
Well, please tell me something about the harp.
We didn't get a harp. No, we didn't go Florence and the Machine on that shit, really. I kind of wish we had. If time, I think they'd have allowed me to have a harp.
The Ocarina of Time.
Oh, Blind Boy podcast talks about the Ocarina pause, doesn't he, all the time? I love that.
Yeah.
And this podcast, obviously. I fully endorse.
Obviously, needless to fucking say. Yeah, so what track would you like us to play?
We just released another track, actually, that was kind of left on the cutting floor for a charity album. And I believe the track was These Boots, or Schizophrene. Oh, crikey. Okay.
I'll have a word with Josh if we can have the two.
That got released. So, Schizophrene.
Yeah,
Good luck
Schizophrene.
selling that. But yeah, These Boots is available.
Schizophrene.
Cool. Let's play that then.
Yeah, this is Schizophrene by Tendons.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, ARC FM.
You're my labor of love. You're my schizophrene addiction. You're that thorn in my side. Should have given more attention. Well, it's a bitter pill to swallow after bated breath. What you want's nothing more, and you got nothing left. It's a hard act to follow when your heart's hit the deck. Is that bitter pill to swallow? What did you expect? You're my labor of love. You're my schizophrene addiction. You're that thorn in my side. Should have given more attention. Well, it's a bitter pill to swallow after bated breath. What you want's nothing more, and you got nothing left. It's a hard act to follow when your heart's hit the deck. It's that bitter pill to swallow. What did you expect? You're my labor of love. You're my schizophrene addiction. You're that thorn in my side. Should have given more affection.
So that was Schizophrene by Tendons. Yeah. So
lockdown happened, didn't it? We'll guide over that, but
yeah.
during that we and before that we were starting to put gigs on. And
Any ambitious ideas?
yeah, well, it was a way of getting back into doing original music because I wasn't playing it yet. I'd pretty much fully retired from playing original music. I was just doing.
That's what I'm in Burroughs 5 times a week.
Yeah, smashing it. I've seen you play, man. You're smashing
and then
it.
it's just like it comes to the point where the last thing you want to do is go home, pick up a guitar and write.
Yeah, and it was writing the same stuff again, as you said, the same chords, and so you had to kind of, do your reconnaissance sort of thing and disappear for a couple of years, and And it was thing again, they were like, oh wow, he's different. It's like,
no, but me and you were going through the exact same thing at the exact same time, because I picked up the guitar now and started doing a few more original things, and more ideas are coming to me now than they ever have.
it's because it's not forced. It's because it's forced, I think, when you're writing just to write, or you're writing to build up to your shows, you haven't played a show yet. Then you live on that adrenaline, and then what happens then is you start writing to sound like what you're meant to write like, and also what you believe other people want you to write, and it just hamstrung you, and it's like you can't really get it out. So then having I had to kind of break down this idea of who I thought I was to the public, and what I expected of myself as well. I was like, I can't frame or anything like that, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, finding chord and old pathways, and then rebuilding. And that
I find myself now putting chords together that I would never have done.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago.
Do you think now that your music style or your work ethic has changed throughout the last?
Big time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was living on youth. Youth is struggled about 3-4 years ago. Not to go too heavy. I struggled with some serious depression issues and stuff like that, and that's it is what it is. But it happened.
Did they put you on the meds straight away?
No, I tried meds once, and I've got nothing against the idea of them, but
It didn't work out, no.
Yeah.
for me, it was it was changing tiny little thing, every little other thing that I could, until eventually I'd fixed everything that was possibly wrong, because everything that used to work didn't work anymore. But that did leave me with no creative energy, and so I've just had to rebuild entirely now, and that means I've rebuilt the pathways of how I write. If I write something like I used to write anymore, I'll put the guitar back down and I won't look at it until I'm ready to play some other things. Until now, I'm picking the guitar up every time, and I'm probably a different guitarist to where I am now. So that's good, and it's I think it's reflective of how I feel about myself as well. I was writing very, very sad, emotive music, because that was generally how I felt.
That was your mood, your song, isn't it?
Yeah, and sad songs are easy to write, man. So as a new musician, saying you're sad is
it's more inspirational, it comes across.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so I'm kind of had to change my mindset about who I watch musically. That has seeped into my mind.
Yeah, it's going to get into your subconscious and bloody playing on it, hack away.
And what I realised, podcast, but we talked about the ocarina pause of Blind Boy. Like, Blind Boy was talking about his approach to his methodology with regards to his mental health was CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy. And when he explained what it was, I was like, cool, so I've been doing that for 2 years already. I just didn't know what that was. What I was doing was treating myself.
So how come, you did that yourself, you realised that yourself, and you were fixing it unknowingly, but some people can't do that with
It's really, when I explained this to Jeff, who runs Big Moose Coffee Co., they're a fantastic organisation. They're a cafe in the centre of town, Big Bear Social Club events. But they, he was just like, when I explained it to him, just in chatting by and talking about mental health, he was like, you do know that's quite good, don't you? Not everybody can do that. And I was like, can assess it for themselves and work it out.
Well, you'd put psychiatrists out of fucking business.
That's it, yeah. Well, that's the one. I mean, if I could afford psychiatry, I would. I think I did this thing recently, Green Ribbon Festival, which is involved with Mental Health Foundation. Mark got in touch, and we did this on Monday. It's a Zoom thing. We recorded in Orchard Studios, and what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and we had to talk to each other afterwards. Me and this guy called James, who was a sound engineer, had fallen out of work, and after someone about what had happened, what's gone wrong, and I wasn't even that depressed. I'm very happy these days, incredibly happy.
I've seen you come
Probably
across
the
that.
happiest I've ever been, which is strange because I've never felt this happy before. So 36 years to get there, and I've worked it out finally.
And through a pandemic.
And weirdly through a pandemic, yeah. So when we were talking about the story, I was like, oh my God, that felt amazing.
It was an emotional weight, just like
huge. And then she was helping, she probably knew exactly what she was doing, but she was putting little links in and going all right, so you realise that you've got 4 jobs, don't you, during a pandemic? Do you feel like you're building safety nets? I was like, oh yeah, maybe I am. Maybe this is what happened. So, and then when you know, breaking them down further and going, am I making this behaviour because it's a positive behaviour? Or am I doing this behaviour because my brain thinks it's a positive behaviour, but in the long run it's going to be a negative effect? and sort of working that stuff out. I was just like, wow, trying to adjust that. So because of all those little things I fixed, finally the one thing I really want to be able to do has come back
naturally again.
Yeah, because everything else is fixed.
Yeah, that's one hell of a fucking journey, man.
It's a weird one, man. It's about 3.5, 4 years, something like, probably about 3 years. 1.5, 2 years, very, very tough.
So do you think you're writing better now than what you ever have been?
Oh, that's hard to say, isn't it? Everyone either doesn't know or they say, yeah, the last song I wrote was the best.
Because you can, that is an absolute tune.
It's so difficult when I've written so many belters, though.
At least you know it.
Calm down, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was by me. Do you know what? Like, looking back, you can hear certain points where you go, certain ones I liked. But then the thing that's really cool is it's not necessarily what everyone else liked. So
this for the track. When you play a track to someone new, and you go, "Oh, at this bit, I might change this bit." Mm-hmm. You know, like me and my friend Joe were talking about this last night, and then like you realise shit. You know, that's not 100% what you want. You can do better than that, but you stick it in there for the just for the bloody just to fill it in.
It's because
you find yourself
looking back at old music and then going like, oh, I'm going to change because you've improved.
Yeah, you're unsure about a moment in the song.
Yeah, but then maybe you couldn't. Also, I think given I'm listening back like to old tracks like the Eleanor remix track and listening back to the original recording of that, and I thought I didn't really enjoy that EP, but then I looked back at it, I was like, given it enough time and distance, and I hadn't heard it, and when I heard it again,
yeah, it sounds better.
And then at the last bit, the big note, you're like, that's not a good one, though. So yeah, you sort of grow with it, don't you? I think what I need to be doing a lot more is either revisiting them, reworking them, and releasing them, which happens live anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or being better at just going, that's done now, next song, that's done now, next song. I was talking to a guy from a band. Which band's he from? Do you know that tune that goes
Bastille.
Bastille.
Talking to the lead singer from Bastille.
Jinx.
Buy me a soda. Yeah. So I was talking to him in a house party, and he was just like, I write a new song every day. I write something new every day.
Some people are like that. They're just like bloody tune toilets. They just churn them out.
And all I could say was like, I covered your song on Radio Wales. I hope you liked it. And then I said in the track he liked it, so that was quite cool. But it was it's just it's an interesting thing. It's an art form. It's development, isn't it? But it's only good if it's good for you. I was quite happy.
Some people write in very different ways.
Yeah.
Very, very.
I've started reading the lists of podcasts. I only did this last week. Someone sent me a podcast and I didn't like the podcast, but I looked at all the titles of all the shows, and I used to do it with bookcase covers, because every title of a book is probably the punchiest 3 words they can think of, and that's been written by a writer. Really great podcasts have fantastic titles. So if you can find a podcast about certain emotions, you can write about that emotion just from the titles alone. And they've got great words in them.
I've never thought about that before,
Yeah. I've only tried it once, and I recorded it, and the melody was crap.
But the words were beautiful.
The words were great, and I didn't even write them. But then all you're doing is like linking them together. I thought it was a really nice way of doing it. I'm definitely going to rob other people's work in the future.
It's not plagiarism.
No, it's not if it's a title. I don't think it is if it's a title, yeah. Although Jurassic Park was one of the words in the song, I don't think that quite fitted.
What book was that?
Yeah, they plagiarised themselves by now, haven't they? It's all good.
Yeah, so tell me what you did in the lockdown. You had you ran an event, yeah?
Lockdown Live. Cardiff Lockdown Live it started as. Then it ended up being COVID Lockdown Live. And so we ran for about 3-4 months until it got sunny. And then everyone went outside and no one cared about live. But I think it was that initial hit. No one knew what to do as artists. Yeah. And people missed
it became
live.
As an amazing bloody release.
Everyone wanted to do it. And I think by the time it came around the second time, I think some people were like,
sick of it.
I've got used to the idea of not performing, or I'm a bit bored of watching all of these performances now.
I found there were people that I knew who didn't ever do gigs. But because they knew there was an audience on Facebook, they were like, I'm going to get the guitar.
I'm going to do this now. It's a strange new thing, and it's interesting how it's developing. We're going to definitely look at interesting ways of utilising it in the future. I mean, the way it culminated for us was we did that, and then through that, Beth and Elvin got in touch and then asked us, would we like to be involved Big Bear and COVID Lockdown Live, the two things I do. We went to Porter's, and Dan and Lewis from Porter's were incredibly kind, and we set up Maddie Jones, James Bauer, Glass Jackets, Willows, I think they are actually, and another act, and we did like a Jules Holland style, one song at a time all the way around, which is what we do with it. And we record all of the Big Bear Social Club events. We record the last round of every night, so everyone is the most drunk, the most warmed up, but they're also the most happy as well. So if you go on Big Bear Social Club on YouTube and stuff like that, you'll find that we do one video which is about between 10 and 17 minutes long, say, and we just go song by song, and then we normally have a busker outside, and then we have a crowd with some like fireworks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so tell us more about the Big Bear Social Club.
So that runs like in Big Moose Coffee Co, which I mentioned earlier, with Jeff and Chloe, who do an amazing job over there, and they help with lots of mental health stuff and training and getting people into work again. Skills. It's great, man, and the training involves sort of, coaching and counselling, and it really is great. And Jeff approached me and said, look, I'd like to have you play in here. And I just started putting Big Bear Social Club as a thing. It was a night I was going to be starting. It was meant to be the name of my band, it being the name of the night, because the night got too big and I didn't.
Such a good name for a band.
Yeah, I know. I might steal it back. So I've taken like Deg Arth at the moment, which might work. But
I like that.
Yeah, Rough as 10 Bears is where it came from, and then I found out there's a 10 in America. No, that's fine. So we run the event. Yeah, exactly. So we run the Big Bear Social Club events in there, and so we were trying to do one, because I know people's attention span is short.
Oh, it's ridiculous. If it's 3 minutes, and people, if it's more than 3 minutes.
That's it. But radio you'll listen to, won't you? Or compilations, or we listen to playlists more than albums now. And an album is a live show, isn't it? You might as well say it's 45 minutes is how long people...
And it's one person's emotional bodywork at that time that I found as well.
But it's you can only do that once locally probably, and it's got to be a launch or something like that. It really needs to be like special. So what we tried to do with Big Bear was the Jules Holland style thing, which is one song at a time. We dotted 3 artists around the room. It goes around the room in a cycle. We do like 6 songs, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we all have a break. There's a break, and we try and promote things like, and we try and promote people to chat with each other in between. It's like everyone go out, have a cigarette or have a drink, and make sure you say hello or hug someone new, which sounds impossible now, doesn't it?
Give them a cut.
Yeah, make sure you ask first, please. Be consensual about these hugs. But and so we want to build that network, and we want to be positive in building that network. I hope so. I feel because I've come from a place a few years ago that it was my in back into doing original music again, and it's really, really invigorated how I look at original music. And now I'm like, okay, I've built this night that I love, and with some amazing help from some amazing people and some amazing acts, and I'm like, I want in now. I want to be this year. And should be out by the end of this year, hopefully. Welsh track, I think we're starting to record in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, it's exciting times, man. Exciting.
And because there's a massive scene as well, for the Welsh language music.
Yeah, music. Yeah, for me, there's a huge scene for Welsh language musicians.
Oh, no. There was a massive scene for Welsh language musicians, and Tom's. I'm gonna leave this. But yeah.
No, but that's what we want to do in the show. We massively want to push it as well. We want to grow that on the show too.
Yeah, I think it's certainly.
It's got to be used on every platform we can.
If you guys that'd be great. Not just saying champion often, but like and that's great. There's English language, Welsh language stuff. A lot of artists do both. So
Yeah, it's almost 40% now.
Yeah, it is really.
My God, yeah. Well, have we got another song that you want us to play?
Yes. Yeah. I tell you what, we had one from me, we've had that. Big Bear, we've just been doing an interview. We're starting an interview series, and it's like stuff. and the first one we ever did.
Go on, tell us what. What kind of question?
Like, where's your favourite takeaway?
Okay.
I can give you a preview as to what Angel Hotel said their favourite takeaway.
Go on, yeah.
What's your favourite pizza, actually? And their favourite pizza was square pizza and
I knew that. Yeah. I know. She actually took Carrie. Yeah, Carrie told me the other day, which is an interview that I did with her the other week. She was like, my favourite pizza is square core pizza, and it's actually the best one I've had in Cardiff too. Yeah, it really is though. It really is.
Yeah, it's really good. It's deep. It's deep and square. That's how I like it. So it'll be out. I think we're doing this interview on Wednesday. The track will be out. So a little preview is what's the name of the track? Angel Hotel. Oh, this is so bad.
The last song, 26th of Morning Breeze. Yeah.
You know your stuff better than me. Yeah.
I knew that.
Morning Breeze is killer, and it's kind of like poppy punky as well.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my youth a little bit. So yeah.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, ARC FM.
Draw a deep breath from my heartbeat, and I still recall everything you ever said to me. Lead the road, get back on my feet, 'cause I still recall everything you ever said to me. Oh, here she comes again, when I'm on my knees in the morning breeze, carved in an epitaph to put myself at ease in the morning breeze. And I raise my pace for the worried mind, and I still recall everything you ever said to me. Go easy on myself and try to be kind, 'cause I still recall everything you ever said to me. Oh, here she comes again, when I'm on my knees in the morning breeze, carved in an epitaph to put myself at ease in the morning breeze. I still recall everything you ever said to me. I let myself believe it when I'm not here, 'cause I still recall everything you ever said to me. Oh, there she comes again, when I'm on my knees in the morning breeze, carved in an epitaph to put myself at ease in the morning breeze.
Amazing. That was Morning Breeze, and yeah, I wanna thank you, Tom, for doing this today with us, and Nick for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No, it's been a pleasure having you. You know, you've lifted my mood.
Been a pleasure.
You've lifted my mood today. The world was dark, but but now, you know, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Sounds like your lockdown's been great.
I know, it sounded bad that day, didn't it?
So, Tom, do you want to give us your socials so that people know where to find you?
Yeah. So it's across a lot of different things. So, but yeah, Tomos Lewis Music on Instagram, Facebook. It's all on Instagram, Facebook, and, you know,
MySpace.
all the important ones. Big Bear Social Club, at COVID Lockdown Live, Tendons Music if you want to catch the old stuff. And I think that's everything you need.
That's everything.
Diolch yn fawr.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tom.
Hwyl fawr, ffrindiau.